When did you start realizing there was potential for you to actually get to college through this sport? And how did you hunker down and start preparing to get to that next level?
I think I realized it before anything associated with wrestling. I think it was more about being in a private school setting. Classes were small. There was about 500 kids in the school at one time. And, I was in classes every single day. Um, Notre Dame running back about to go in the first round. Penn State football player, Harvard football player, Notre Dame starting defensive end who's about to go to the NFL. Like, the expectation and the standard was high, and I was around high achievers at all times. And it became a standard, and it became more of a competition in a friendly way. Like, hey, who's committing where? And it became like this little game of like, yeah, I had a big win or big achievement, but you come to school and it's like no one's gonna pat you on the back because that's expected, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting in math class and 2 rows down, I got the number one player, Gatorade Player of the Year, going to Notre Dame. Fathers in the NFL, this, that, and the next, and it was just the expectation. It wasn't out of the norm, and that was something I really enjoyed, and I think that really stuck with me, and I recognized that my freshman year, towards the end, really, when I was like, yeah, like this is really like the environment I'm in, and either I'm gonna live up to it and really be about it, or am I just gonna be that guy who just is half-assed, right? Am I on the fence? That's something Coach Smith has really taught me. He'll push you and he'll definitely get the best out of you, but he'll do it in a different way. He's been coaching for 33 years. Besides Cale Sanderson and maybe Brands, I don't think there's an argument of the better college coach in the country. So, he always says this phrase, are you on the fence? And that's for you to digest and really ask yourself what that means, right? So for me, I sat back and I said, what is this guy telling me? He keeps telling me I'm on the fence, but I'm busting my ass every day. And then I came to this realization that he's really telling me that I need to be serious about what I'm doing, not just do it seriously. That's
Mm-hmm.
deep, but it really brings home that sentiment of like, are you really on the fence, just looking, maybe going over sometimes, or you're over that fucking fence, and you're saying I'm over that. What's next? So I think just being around. Back to the question, being around like-minded individuals in high school and kind of just that being the standard, dude. That wasn't out of the norm. A state title, number one in the country, going to Penn State, going this place wasn't out of the norm. It was normal. And I was just kind of falling in line and doing my job, really.
You are the people that you surround yourself with. And if you're surrounded by a bunch of dog savages, man, that are pushing their own physical and mental limits to achieve greatness, you got to live up to that standard. And it's
You do.
expected at the end of the day. Are you going to be the outlier who's going to be a pud and not push himself to achieve great things? Or are you going to be the savage who's going to constantly persevere and be that next level top tier guy that people are competing with also?
There was a lot of guys in the room. I'll tell you, I won't say names, but there's a lot of guys that just sat back and they were the sheep of the room. There's a hierarchy
Mm-hmm.
there, like all things in life. There's a hierarchy. You had your alphas, you had your beta males, and then you had your people that were just there wasting space. And that might sound a little harsh, but it's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is that you're in a room with 25 young men. 15 of them are going Division I for whatever they're doing, and the other 10 are just sitting there. So it's a school side. It's just like, what is your expectation of yourself? Where are you setting the bar? Are you just happy being, oh, I know this kid. I know this kid who went to Penn State. Oh, you know that guy on the TV from Notre Dame? I know him. Like, no, that was my good friend, and I'm actually rooting for him. And when he's on ESPN, I'm rooting for him. When I'm on ESPN, he's rooting for me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's that like-minded thing I really said earlier that kind of gets me fired up because it's I don't really think about it much, but it's really the truth.
Mm-hmm.